Hey y'all, it's Miranda. Welcome back. Happy August. Okay, since the beginning of the month on August 1st, I have already felt so much more excited about life and art. My best friend Jess actually inspired me the most because she referenced an artist that I'll talk about first that really just gives me that unconditional joy and sweetness and color and happiness, really. I cannot wait to share these next 5 artists for August because they are all happy, they are all colorful and exciting and just simply enjoyable. So let's start off with that first artist that my best friend had referenced to me. And this American painter has a really great perspective on lighting with common everyday items that I just think is so simplistic and breathtaking all at the same time. And this particular artist, of course, being Morton Wayne Thiebaud. I really love to see his perspective in lighting and everyday items and simplistic views of what we might see throughout our lives, especially in happy moments like enjoying amazing food and especially desserts. And I know he was a very hardworking man in terms of just how much he put into his paintings and how many paintings he really developed. Not only is he known for doing these really special little food paintings, but he also does a lot of different portraiture and landscape paintings that are also just as gorgeous, and I can just see his technique in the way that his style reflects in his paintings, just based off of his texture use and the way that he, portrays color and the way light kind of plays with color too. Really, really special artist that I have so much to thank for, and just reminds me that there is simple things in life that, can give you little bits of happiness. It doesn't have to be so intense or so complex in terms of what would make something an appealing painting or view or perspective. Sometimes it's just the simple things that you just have to enjoy and realize that there's beauty in those things too. So thank you to Morton Wayne for sure for giving me that perspective again and making me realize that there is so much beauty in the little things in the world.
What do you want them to see?
I'd like for them to laugh a little. If we don't have a sense of humor, we lack a sense of perspective.
And thank you to my best friend who always reminds me of that too, even outside of just artworks, that there are little things to be really happy for and to look forward to. Now, the next artist I'd like to talk about is a Japanese artist who really puts a lot of different ideas into contemporary art and also focuses towards more installation work. And this particular artist being, of course, Yayoi Kusama. And she is such a unique character in her own right, and I just adore it. I love to see how much she has an aesthetic just circled around her in terms of what she's created out of her own world and how she sees things in the world, on top of doing paintings and such as well. But really just I wanted to focus on the ideas of how much she put into her sculpture work and how much she put into her installations as well. Those are the most inspirational things that I've noticed from doing my research on her again, is just seeing just how much she puts into her perspective and color and just her theories on pattern work and shapes and how they kind of collaborate and manifest themselves in a room and a space when people get to view her installations. Yayoi really inspires me in a lot of ways in terms of just her overall aesthetic, her atmosphere that she creates in each of her installations, and from her number of paintings to her performance art, the way that she really engulfs herself in her own artwork, how she really is a living artwork, is always ever inspiring and gives me so much to think about in what I want to accomplish one day when I want to do my own installation work, and how I really want to navigate myself as an artist into, really showcasing my art as an individual and placing myself within these worlds and really letting people have the opportunity to place themselves in worlds that you create and they can surround themselves in a way. The color schemes that she uses and the aesthetics that she kind of stands with, it's just so inspiring and just kind of clicks in my brain in a way of something that's really familiar and heartwarming and nostalgic, really. She really is just one of the most important women in art that I think applying not only to Japanese contemporary art but to American artists as well. Now onto another Japanese artist who has just as an exciting and joyful aesthetic to his own work. This is an artist that also concentrates on a lot of bright, vibrant colors, great pattern work, stylistic characters, and really just kind of sets the tone for what his art is about, and whenever you see it, you know exactly whose art that is because he has such a brand to what he does. And this particular artist being, of course, Takashi Murakami, and his work, like I said, has such a specific stylistic look to it that is really special to just him. Such an individual that has created so much of a blend between what the idea of high to low art is and what the idea of maybe kitsch art being something that is really, when you put enough work behind it and you put a lot of good branding behind it, can be something just as amazing and just as valuable as any fine artist. His aesthetic to his artwork, although it's very commercial, still gives a lot of personal, cultural references to it that makes it really special and unique to a community of artists who really value his work and take a lot of inspiration from. He connects a lot of those ideas of what it means to have something that is more commercial, to fine art, to something that's more considered graffiti art maybe, to an aesthetic that really works for any particular fine artist who wants to make something that is really valuable and really impactful. And of course, because I'm concentrating on 5 artists that give a lot of joy and happiness, his work is very colorful, happy, joyful. Literally there's smiles and there's just these characters that are all around that are giving all of this really great aesthetic feeling of happiness and color and playfulness. And that is just, again, so simplistic, but so amazing and exactly the kind of thing that is so important to this particular theme of doing 5 artists who have such colorful, beautiful, happy art. Circling back to American artists who have a really pop art, contemporary look on what it is to convey their story and their style, this next particular artist is just as vibrant, colorful, expressionist, gives a lot of happy vibes based off of their caricatures and the overall aesthetic of their work, but still conveys a really powerful message nonetheless. And this artist, of course, being Keith Allen Haring. He is a really, really special artist that will carry on in his message for years and years to come. His art is purely based off of body language and the idea of conveying a message through action without having to really say a lot of words, really any words at all, just showing really simplistic actions and showing certain colors that really convey an instant message. No matter what kind of art or aesthetic you may be trying to achieve or what you want to do in your own life, his message can really reflect in a lot of aspects to just making sure we are staying true to ourselves, staying connected to each other in some way, and also staying safe in a lot of ways. Very similar in the way of Jean-Michel Basquiat, Keith Haring, both of them give me so much inspiration in terms of radical ideas, imagery, what it means to kind of just keep moving with whatever may be happening in your climate of political atmosphere, social atmospheres. Everything is just kind of based off of their reactions to that. And both of them really give me that motivation to always stay true to what your own message is, no matter what is going on in the world, no matter how many things you may be hearing, voices may be telling you what to feel or how to deal with something. There's nothing like your own artistic mind expressing what you're going through. Keith Haring is definitely an absolute strong inspiration for me in terms of just moving, keep it moving. Every movement that happens, move with it. And overall, he really just gives me that inspiration on that inner monologue that you have within yourself and how to express that so that others can understand and even take their own inspiration from it. And last but certainly definitely not least is my current modern artist who inspires me through social media first and foremost, but also just contemporary art, expressionist art, abstract art, pop art, all of those things. Just so much color and happiness and great vibes, great messages throughout all of her artwork. And this particular Australian artist, of course, is Talia Stanton. She is an artist who, like I said, I have been so engulfed in and so inspired by just by her pure positivity alone. She could honestly just be an inspirational speaker and I would follow her regardless, even if she wasn't an artist. But on top of that, she is this brilliant, amazing, authentic, truly to herself artist who creates the most beautiful, almost nearly abstracted, but just overall expressive pop, modern, gorgeous, detailed artworks. I've been following this particular artist for many years, since I've even first started my own art Instagram, and just trying to find out what this art world is like in our current day and how modern art really is setting the tone for what is to come really in the future. To even follow her and be able to have her videos as a reference to remember the positivity of life and just be happy to be alive. She's given me a lot of confidence in my own self that I can do things for myself that are positive and unique, and work hard and create a foundation or brand even that gives you the avenue to continuously express your artistic vision, your own artworks. And she has such a way of helping others to try and understand who they are as their own artists, on top of really expressing exactly who she is as an artist. She really motivates me to also connect with our community in a lot of ways and see where we can all make an impact on each other and how we can all really help each other in this art community. She is a pure inspiration and total goals for what it means to one day be a commission artist who does things successfully and does things beautifully and graciously and joyfully, you know, happily even, I should say. I daily strive to find that own happiness in myself and, you know, work towards finding who I'm going to be in the future when it comes to being a commission artist, and what it means for myself to find my own place in this art community. And it's just ever exciting. Honestly, thank you, Talia, because I don't know what I would do without an artist like you. You really are a guiding light in this art community, at least for me. But I know that there are many that feel the same way, so. We all kind of feel lost in a lot of ways, and there seems to be a lot of that negative and sad. All right, I got so tired of those pigtails. I think it is time to go. I'm gonna go read a Twilight book or something, I don't know.